Hi there, my name's Caitlin. I'm a holistic nutrition consultant. I've been healing my Hashimotos for over 10 years, and everything on my channel is what I've learned in my journey that I want to teach you. Today's video is all about which thyroid test to ask for when you go to the doctor. If you don't know my story, quickly I'll tell you. When I was in my early 30s, I was a fit personal trainer. I was running half marathons. I was eating a vegetarian diet. And I thought I was on top of the world. I was in great shape. And all of a sudden, my digestion went crazy. I couldn't go to the bathroom without taking some kind of senna laxative tea. And then I had stomach pains. I had joint pains. But the biggest thing was the fatigue. I couldn't stand up for more than like 15 minutes at a time. I wanted to sit down all the time. I wanted to sleep 18 hours a day. Just any time I could sleep, I wanted to sleep. And I couldn't hardly get out of bed without a whole pot of coffee. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. And before that, I was pretty much a healthy person. I had some issues, but nothing like this. And it was amazing what happened. And so I really had to become my own advocate and seek out help. And I went to several doctors and I really hit a dead end there. But I was able to find a naturopathic doctor who really listened to me and gave me the proper test. And then I was able to get the right medication, and that turned things around for me. And when I had newfound energy from the medication, I was able to do my own research and figure out which kind of diet would help me to heal even more, and then look at my lifestyle and stress and make a lot of changes. But the first step is getting the right test. So that's what we're talking about today. If you find this video helpful, please hit the thumbs up button. It really helps me out and helps this video find more people on YouTube. And also please leave a comment down below if you tell me your story. I want to hear your story about what happened when you asked for the right thyroid test or how you got diagnosed. Now, one thing I recommend is if you can't get your doctor to cooperate with you, is getting this everylywell test. Now, it's not the most thorough test. It doesn't have every test that I think you should get, but it has a lot of the really important ones, and it's a lot more than most doctors do. So this is a really affordable test. If you have trouble getting it with your insurance, you can get this on your own dime, and a test is around $150, and you can get it sent back to your own home, doing in the privacy of your home. And then you can research yourself and see, how your levels are doing. There's a lot you can save on your first test. So I'll put my code right here. And definitely this is a great start if you have trouble getting the right test from your doctor. There are some really good resources. If you do get your test and you want to interpret those results, you can go to Stop the Thyroid Madness is a great website. Dr. Datiz Karazian has an amazing website and book that you can read. There is so much you want to educate yourself about. Also, Isabella Wentz has a great website about thyroid. She's the thyroid pharmacist. There is so many. Also, Dr. Amy Myers is a good one that has a lot of autoimmune information. But like I said a million times, I have found the carnivore diet to be the most helpful for me in dealing with my thyroid, but you don't have to go all the way to that to start healing. But that's where I am right now, and I'm healing the most that I have of all the other things I did. So if you want to cut to the chase and go right to the carnivore diet, then you will feel amazing. But if you want to ease into it, I did paleo and keto first, and those are both helpful approaches. So there is so much you can do on your own. When you first go to the doctor and ask for tests, now you're commonly going to get tested for TSH. And while that is a good test, it is a baseline, but it is a little out of date. It doesn't tell you everything you need to know. It's more of a pituitary hormone, and it doesn't tell you all the information that you need to know. So don't take that one alone and say, okay, I'm good, especially if you have symptoms of hair loss or low energy, your digestion is off, you have thinning eyebrows, thinning hair, your skin is looking, pale and sallow, or there's so many symptoms, but those also gaining weight rapidly, more than you have before, and you didn't really change anything, that's another one. Do get your TSH tested, but also your total and free T4. That's really important. Your free T3 and total T3. T3 is the amount of thyroid hormone that your body actually can use. It's the bioavailable form. So make sure and get the free T3, and that one is in the everylywell test as well. Thyroglobulin, also reverse T3. That one's really important. Also the T3 uptake, the TPO antibodies, and the TG antibodies. I'll put a little graphic here of how of a list of these. Now, it's really important to talk about the antibodies. When I first got sick, I could barely move out of bed, as I told you. I was dragging myself around. I didn't know what was going on. I thought maybe I'm just getting older, you know, but I was around 32 maybe, and it didn't make much sense that I was hit with this just crushing fatigue. If I did a bicep curl, my elbow would be sore for 2 weeks. It didn't make any sense. So one of the best things was getting my antibodies tested, and the antibodies showed that my thyroid, it was actually attacking itself. So my body had turned on my own thyroid and it was attacking itself. It had made a mistake and thought that my thyroid was an invader, a foreign tissue. So it started attacking it. That's what an autoimmune disease is. And it just depends on your genetics, where your body attacks itself if the autoimmune component gets turned on. And I won't go into all that on this video, but you know, you may get lupus, you may get MS, you may get diabetes type 1. So it all just depends on you and what happened maybe to your parents as to where your attack might start if you have an autoimmune condition. But for me, it was showing that my body was attacking its own thyroid. And so my body was not able to make enough thyroid hormone. And that is why I was so tired, because thyroid hormone is super important for your energy. It runs your hormones. It runs everything in your body. It's intricately linked to so many processes in your body. So if your thyroid is off, you are going to be feeling like crap, and you'll probably be gaining weight. I'd also gained about 20 to 30 pounds in what seems like a month or two, and I was still exercising constantly, eating very low calorie diet. So it didn't make sense what was happening to me. And only by getting these antibodies tested was I able to know that I had an autoimmune condition. And then I learned later that the autoimmune condition is a full body issue, and I really had to lower my inflammation all around by changing my diet. I even changed my job, and that's when I started working online rather than working in a gym and working with clients that way, because the stress was just too much for me. So I really had to change a lot of things, but without that antibody test, my TSH was actually normal. So if I had only gone by that and a doctor had sent me away, said, you're fine, just get some more rest, you're getting older, maybe change your birth control or something like that, and told me to go on, I would have never known that I had an autoimmune condition. So make sure and get those antibodies. So it's the TPO and the TG antibodies. And that will tell you so much about what's going on in your body. And the everylywell test does test those. So if you want to get that test, you can get it in the link down below. So anyway, those are the main tests you want to get. If you can't get all of them, just get as many as you can and just keep trying. And remember, at your doctor, you're the customer, you're the client. Don't let a doctor boss you around. Go get a different doctor. There's tons of doctors out there. If you don't like the one you have, maybe try a different one. I've always had better luck with women, not to say they're all great, but I feel like a woman has had a little more empathy. So then you can get the right medication, and then you can get started on your healing. And remember, there's a lot you can do at home. Change your diet, eat more protein, eat less. You have to be gluten-free if you have an autoimmune condition, unfortunately. So you can get started on those. Eat less sugar, eat less seed oils. Those are the things you can do right now. as well as ordering your at-home everylywell test. So if you have any questions, please leave them down below. Let me know if you did the test, if it helped you, and let me know what you want my next video to be about. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you next time.